What's up, everybody? Z3KO Trinity here. Today I'm doing another Stephen King previews video for you guys. And today I'm going to be previewing Wolves of the Calla play. Then Songs of Susanna, Samantha, Song River. And then The Dark Tower and all its beautifulness. We're going to start things off with Wolves of the Calla. So, imagine this. You walk into a library. I know, shocking, right? You walking into a library. Whew, might as well be walking into a drugstore or some shit. But you walk into a library and you see this displayed. Or you walk into a bookstore and you see this displayed. Or you see it in your neighbor Jed's window displayed. And you're sitting there like, I wonder if that would be any good. Like it's a peach pie or something. If you saw this cover, based on the cover alone, and you had no idea who Stephen King is this cover able to make you go, I wonder what that's about? Obviously, you won't like it because it's like the 5th book out of a whole series of books. So you're going to be like, well, shit, now I'm going to have to read 4 more books before this one. But if you're one of those people that, are like, oh, sweet, 4 more before this one? Yay, more to read. Then it'll be right up your alley. But we're going to talk about the art for now. I love this little doorknob-looking thing that has the revolver and a rose. Get a little zoom in of that. I like that. Has the Roman numeral for 5 there. Then it has like a chalk outline of some kind of like hunter or something. You can see like a hood. Maybe it's the Green Arrow. And she, a naked chick in a wheelchair, probably Felicity, was chucking like, looks like DVDs. Like all the seasons of Arrow. She's like, just fuck you. Chucking it at the thing. But I do like the art. I think it really pops out. Like, I love the yellow and orange kind of thing that they have for the name. The orange glow for the Stephen King Dark Tower. I just think it really works. I really like this front cover. I wish that I had the hardback covers of the 1 through 4. One day I'll get them. But what's cool about this one is this one's kind of like a library book, or used to be a library book. So it has this thing still in it. And I can like use my little note card that I do and kind of feed it through there. So that's actually really nice. But we're going to see what this little front side here says about this book. Alright. Roland Deschain and his cadet, Cadet Kelly, are bearing southeast through the forests of Midworld. The almost timeless landscape that seems to stretch from the wreckage of civility that defined Roland's youth to the crimson chaos that seems the future's only promise. Readers of Stephen King's epic series know Roland well, or as well as this enigmatic hero can be known. They also know the companions who have been drawn to his quest for the Dark Tower, Eddie Dean and his wife, Susanna. Jake Chambers, the boy who has come twice through the doorway of death into Roland's world. The boy who came twice. And Oi, the boy, or the Billy Bumbler. See, I haven't read any but the first book, so right now I'm like, Oi, the Billy Bumbler. He's the boy Bumblebee. He just walks around. So, guys, what are we going to do today? He's that little annoying thing that goes, no, no, no. Whenever danger's nearby, they're like, oh, no. He's just like, no, no, no. Goes and hides behind a bush. A George Bush. But we're going to see. Now, I noticed something in the other books. I don't think this one has them. Oh, no, wait. These books, of course, back to the naked chick Eating a frog, looks like. Munching on some grindage right there. A Pauly Shore throwback. But yeah, I love that these books have like little illustrated drawings and stuff. I just passed another one. Oh, it's the guy from Back to the Future here. But yeah, I like that in these books. Alright, we have chapter 1, The Face on the Water. Smoke on the water, and then there's a face on the water. Pretty soon, if I wrote this book, it would be the balls on the water. Alright, like if you don't know who Stephen King, the whole purpose of this video, if this is the first Stephen King previews you've ever watched of mine, but you probably stopped watching already, you're like, this guy's stupid, and turn it off. But if you don't know what it is, we're basically pretending like we don't know who Stephen King is, and just basically looking at the art, reading the first paragraph of the book, maybe the last word of the book, and then judging whether or not we feel that it grabs our attention and makes us want to read it. So here we go. Chapter 1, The Face on the Water. 1. Time is a face on the water. Oh, well, that answered that. Don't have to read no more, guys. Chapter 1, The Face on the Water. Time is the face on the water. Done. Next chapter. No, I'm just kidding. Time is the face on the water. This was a proverb from the long ago in far-off Medjugorje. Eddie Dean had never been there. I didn't even ask if he had. Except he had. In a way. Roland had carried all 4 of his companions. Wow, he's pretty strong. Unless they're all children. So he's like Michael Jackson them down the river. Eddie, Susanna, Jake, and Oi! 2 Medjugorjes one night, storying long as they camped on I-70, the Kansas Turnpike, in a Kansas that never was. That night he had told them the story of Susan Delgado, his first love, perhaps his only love, and how he had lost her. Of course he lost her. Actually, I remember that. Was that enough to really like get under your skin? Like oh, I've got to continue reading this. I don't think so, but based if you like read each of the following books, and maybe the last book kind of ended in like this little cliffhanging kind of, I gotta know what happens next, then maybe you'll be like, okay, let's go right into this. But for me, right off the bat, I don't think that paragraph did it. Did it for me. The art on the book definitely did for me, and the tidbit on the side really didn't like give me anything to capture my attention for this story. But we're going to skip to the last page. Actually, wait a minute. I'm sure if we read on, like, let's give this another chance, okay? We're going to read some more of this. In this long-awaited 5th novel in the saga, their path takes them to the outskirts of Calla Bryn Sturgis, a tranquil valley community of farmers and ranchers on Midworld's borderlands. Beyond the town, the rocky ground rises toward the hulking darkness of Thunderclap, the source of a terrible affliction that is slowly stealing the community's soul. One of the town's residents is Pierre Cullen, a ruined priest who, like Susanna, Eddie, and Jake, passed through one of the portals that led both into and out of Roland's world. As Father Cullen tells the Quartet the astonishing story of what happened following his shamed departure from Maine in 1977, his connection to the Dark Tower becomes clear, as does the danger facing a single red rose in a vacant lot off 2nd Avenue. Now that did get a little bit better. If I'm sure as we read on, it'll probably get even better, but I'm glad that I kept reading there, and I think I came upon another illustration page. I did. He's like, "You stole my Cheerios." But yeah, that I should have read more of that. That did catch my attention. But if that didn't sell you, and you're one of those weirdos, it's like, I need to know what the last word is in this book. The last word in the book is could. Could. So let me know in the comment section below if that preview of Wolves of the Kala really held your attention. Next up, we have the Song of Susanna, where the little girl goes, where she goes, let it go, roll it. Songs of Susanna. The art on this book is really beautiful just because of the coloring. You have this purple lit up sky with some kind of like fiery lake that's going on here. Lightning hitting the water, sending up a fog or some. I mean, I can't quite tell what this is, but it is beautiful, and I do see the tower in the background. So I think this cover of this book is absolutely beautiful. If I saw this in a grocery store, I'd probably walk up to it, caress it a little, get right in the bottom of it, and then I'd walk away. What's cool about this is on the back it has your typical Stephen King, but it has like a woman's face like smelling his hair like body wash. Aftershave. But let's see, we open it up. I'm sure this has some illuminating pictures. We got like books flying off from the Page Master. I don't know if y'all ever saw that movie or not. With Macaulay Culkin. Oh shit! Here's a illustration of Stephen King himself. And then there's the face of the girl. Now check this out. This is kind of interesting. It's like a bowl has a cherry in it. And then the reject from the Purge movie is sitting there writing a love letter. Like, I love that cherry. I wish they'd bring back Crystal Pepsi. But here we go. The next to last novel in Stephen King's 7-volume magnum opus, The Songs of Susanna, is at once a book of revelation, a fascinating key to the unfolding mystery of the Dark Tower, and a fast-paced story of double-barreled suspense. To give birth to her chap, demon mother Mia has usurped the body... I know I said that wrong, but oh well. Usurped the body of Susanna Dean and used the power of the Black 13 to transport to New York City in the summer of 1999. The city is strange to Susanna and terrifying to the daughter of none who shares her body and mind. Give me her number, as long as she don't mind sharing her body. Saving the tower depends not only on rescuing Susanna, but also on securing the vacant lot Calvin Tower owns before he loses it to the Sombra Corporation. Enlisting the aid of Manny Cinders, the remaining cadet climbs to the doorway cave and discovers that magic has a mind of its own. It falls to the boy Billy Bumbler and the fallen the boy wonder Billy Blunder, who, in a struggle to cope with each other with an alien environment, go to dash to Castle Discordia on the border of Endworld. So yeah, that one, it did a little better grabbing my attention and trying to appeal to me than the Wolves of the Kala did. But I just want to read it just because of the Billy Boy Blunder. Like, the whole entire time I'm going to read it, it's like, Billy Boy Blunder. He's like, oh, hey, guys. How are we going to save the day? Just, oh my god. I can't even fathom this anymore. But we're going, if that didn't tickle your fancy, there must be something that's strawberry, because there's like, another picture of that strawberry there. Maybe Stephen King's a fan of Strawberry Shortcake. And not the food, the actual show. Okay, here we go. How long will the magic stay? At first, no one answered Roland's question. And so he asked, like, he just comes in the room, so, how long will this magic stay, perhaps? And they're just like... At first, no one answered Roland's question, and so he asked it again, this time looking across the living room of the rectory to where Henchick of the Manny sat with Cantab, who had married one of Alfred Hitchcock's numerous granddaughters. The two men were holding hands, as was the Manny way. The older man had lost a granddaughter that day, but if he grieved, the emotion did not show on his stony, composed face. Next to Roland, holding no one's hand, even though I didn't ask, oh, is he holding this guy's hand? Is he holding Billy Boy Blunder's hand? Silent and dreadfully white sat Eddie Dean beside him. Cross-legged on the floor was Jake Chambers, and had pulled Oi into his lap. Oh, Oi! And a thing Roland had never seen before and would not have believed the Billy Blumber would allow. He's like, I'm trying. He's like, I'm new to... Oh, shit, I can't even say it right. I'm open for some new things in my life. I don't know why it sounds like Mickey Mouse. But yeah, if that wasn't enough to really, like, grab your attention, like, hey, you need to read this, then, I don't know, it didn't do it for me. But if you guys think that it really got your attention, please let me know in the comment section below. If not, we're going to go straight to the last word of the book, which happens to be tonight. That's the last word of the book, tonight. So yeah, that was a preview of Songs of Susannah. And then finally we have the final book of the Dark Tower series, or so we think. The Dark Tower, which I think out of all three books has the best cover ever. Your typical gunslinger Roland here holding a rose and a bloody hand. Zoom on in, bloody hand there. He's got that rose, he's got that gun, he's got a field of roses. Looks like a dead hooker floating in the river right here. Probably the Billy Boy Blunder did it. And he is at this tower. It's like he's like, oh, we finally made it. Selfie time. Come on, Susannah, take the picture. But, yeah, I like the coloring as it continues onto the background. Another head right there in the water. Stephen King, same two pictures as every one of them. But what I like most about this is this beautiful interior design. Just has him like holding a watch. Not even looking at the watch. He's just looking up in the distance. He's like, oh, Susan, take another selfie. Do it now. And then what I think is kind of cool is how Stephen King did this whole three face of him kind of thing. That was kind of interesting. Same pick as the front is the back, but here we go. All good things must come to an end. Constant reader, and not even Stephen King can make a story that goes on forever. The tale of... Oh, sure he can. The tale of Roland Deschain's relentless quest for the Dark Tower has, the author fears, sorely tried the patience of those who have followed it from its earliest chapters, but attend to it while longer, if it pleases you, for this volume is the last, and often the last things are the best. Since it wasn't the last doesn't mean it's not the best. Roland's quartet remains intact, though scattered over wears and winds. Suzanne Mia has been carried from the Dixie Pig in the summer of 1999 to a birthing room, really a chamber of horrors, and Thunderclaps Fedric, Jake, and Father Callahan, with Oi between them, have entered the restaurant on Lex Luthor that is, and 61st, 69, since it's a reverend, with weapons drawn, little knowing how numerous and noxious are their foes. Roland and Eddie are with John Cullum in the main. I feel like I'm reading the Bible. And he begat this, and he begat that. Roland and Eddie are with John looking for the site on Turtleback Lane where walk-ins have often been seen. They want desperately to get back to the others, to Susanna especially, and yet they have come to realize that the world they need to escape is the only one that matters. Thus, the book opens like a door to the utmost reaches of Stephen King's imagination. Was that enough to grab your attention? Not me at all. But, with it being the final book, I feel like it's probably going to be an excellent book. Especially if it's a whole series. I just think that it's probably going to be one of Stephen King's best works ever. At least I've been told. We've got some illustrations. We have this one here where he's just kind of crying at a door. His mom put him in timeout. Then one of the earlier ones. That's not a illustration. Wait, there was one, I think. Yeah, here's one. Alright, here's him and Billy Boy Blunder with some raccoon/squirrel that they had found. They're just looking at a really cool chess piece thing. But, yeah, if that wasn't enough to grab your attention, let's go to page 1. Chapter 1, Callahan and the Vampires. Perry Don Callahan had once been the Catholic priest of a town, Salem's. I didn't know Salem's Lot connected with this. Guys, y'all could have told me something. Why don't you read the actual books and find out for yourself, fatty? Salem's Lot has been its name that no longer existed on any map. He didn't much care. Concepts such as reality had ceased to matter to him. This one-time priest now held a heathen object in his hand. A scrimshaw turtle made of ivory. I just lost the dust cover. Come on now, work with me. There was a nick in its beak and a scratch in the shape of a question mark on its back, but otherwise it was a beautiful thing. Beautiful and powerful. He could feel the power in his hand like volts. How lovely it is, he whispered to the boy who stood with him. Is it the turtle Maturin? It is, isn't it? The boy was Jake Chambers, and he'd come a long loop in order to return almost his starting place here in Manhattan. I'm not going to read any more. Yeah, I know, phone. I know you're dying. Don't worry. But was that enough to really grab your guys' attention? Please tell me in the comment section below if the Dark Tower books really are as good as what I've heard. If you say that they are excellent, then I will suffer through them and read. I will read them all. But we're going to see what the final word of the book is, which was followed. Oh, that's cool. The man in black fled across the desert and the gunslinger followed. So it ends exactly the same way it began. That's pretty poetic. I do like that. That alone grabs my attention. That alone. I love poetry in books. I just think that it's like the greatest thing ever. But thank you guys for watching. This is a really long video for the 3 books. My next previews, I might just do it one book at a time. That way it'll be a shorter video. But thank you guys for watching. I'm Z3KO Trinity. Dooskies.